welcome to the Magic of Joy channel. Today, I want to discuss why fear creates more problems than it solves. This conversation is not about fear being right or wrong, because fear isn't about that. The questions I am raising are about whether we handle and use fear in practical ways. And at the end, I'll give you some thoughts on how to use this information. We're all accustomed to fear, and at a societal level, we seem to be drowning in it. Fear has become a prominent way of looking at life, limiting us in very important ways. For thousands of years, fear and survival have been our main stories. And as understandable and natural as that is, we are now so attached to these perceptions about life that we are struggling to find new ways and possibilities. That's a serious challenge in a world that's trying to open up and become more diverse. It's an impediment when we need to shift from survival as a story to thriving as our focus. Fear has its place, of course. However, when it is our main energy or emotional anchor, it creates serious problems for us. There's an important reason for this. Fear acts as an interruption. Think about it. You're sitting outside enjoying a picnic. You look up and you see a tiger or other animal approaching, an animal you think is dangerous, and you naturally feel afraid. That means you've stopped enjoying your picnic to focus on the danger you're in and what to do about it. So what happens then when fear is used as the normal in human culture? What are we interrupting? Could we in fact be interrupting our ability to solve problems together? Could we be interrupting our ability to collaborate, to create and co-create a world that offers more thriving and to share space and resources better? Many have noticed that so many of our problems are unnecessary. Could many of our problems be interruptions themselves? Does promoting fear just create more ways to interrupt us and act as a distraction from taking good care of ourselves and our world and enjoying life? A fear-based world is one with a lot of conflict and war. Conflict is inevitable to a degree, but do we need to have as much as we have? What does the conflict that we have interrupt? Are we so conditioned to conflict or the expectation of conflict that we interrupt our own lives ourselves and our enjoyment of life to connect with and manage the fearful world we live in? To what degree are our fears related to something real? And to what extent do they come from habitual ways of thinking about ourselves and each other in life? These issues are not political, and they're not cultural or personal necessarily. They're practical ones. Of course, not all fears are equal. Some are major, like concerns about our environment and environmental issues, and others may be minor, like being afraid we have an illness when we experience an ache or pain. What do we do about these fears? Well, what we do does matter. We seem to have a complicated and not necessarily healthy relationship with fear. On the one hand, there are situations like environmental issues that many are in denial about. Denial is one way we handle fear sometimes until we get a handle on the issue. In this case, however, an important consequence is finding a viable way to make changes together, and that ability seems to be eluding us. This is a consequence of denial. Complicating the issue is the complexity of the world we live in. It is hard to know sometimes what the truth of a matter is, and that creates self-doubt, and with it a new set of fears, perhaps of overreacting or underreacting, or maybe we're afraid of some potential losses. Denial may interrupt our fear for the moment at least, but it's not the ultimate solution, especially about major issues. One important aspect of fear is that it is generally related to a specific situation that we expect to resolve quickly. We're told by scientists that our adrenaline is activated by danger and then stops once the danger has passed. When that does not occur, when a problem gets kicked down the road, we end up with chronic stress created by fear, which keeps our adrenaline activated, and it's not good for our health. It's not good for our health because our energy is being used in a way that is not natural to us. According to the Mayo Clinic, chronic stress depletes us because it takes away from important systems in the body, including the immune and digestive systems, so that our bodies are not functioning properly, and our natural bodily rhythms are interrupted. There we go, interrupted again, which has a host of consequences. I have a link for you below the video so you can read more about it, what the Mayo Clinic has to say. So the same can be applied to a society built on fear. Its resources and its energy are used to deal with whatever the fears or the dangers are. Some of this is necessary, but when it is constant, several things happen. One, the society becomes depleted because so many resources are diverted to deal with the danger. That may mean that food and other necessities are not prioritized, so some members of the society do without. It's not uncommon to read about countries that are heavily invested in war having hungry or starving citizens. It is also common for countries with a low investment in war to have a good quality of life. They are related. So we have discussed how fear interrupts us. We stop what we're doing. We also develop a focus on the short-term issue we're dealing with. We've also shown how fear is very depleting, especially when it's chronic. And that means we would do well to find a different way of approaching life if we are to have the quality of life we all deserve. I hope you had a chance to watch the video, The 3 Pillars of a Joy-Filled Life, because it will get you started thinking about how you can create a different foundation for a joy-filled way of living. Joy is practical. Many people think of it as the frosting on the cake, but actually it's one of the most practical things you can do, investing in creating a joy-filled life for yourself and others. So the question now is, how can you start to limit the impact of fear-based approaches to life? How do you reclaim your energy? How do you make sure you're using it in a way that's supporting you in life and supporting what you want to create in life? How can you limit or set boundaries around the huge amount of fear in the world? Where would you like to start? I personally advise simplifying as much as you can, given your life situation, because it does free up time and energy. And sometimes setting limits on people and information that only promote fear helps as well. It creates more space for you and helps you feel stronger, and it makes it possible for you to become more focused on creating joy. So I hope that will help you get started. So thanks for watching this video. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you've learned more about how joy can be helpful to you. And if you found the video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends and loved ones. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel. We'll be back with more videos on the transformative power of joy shortly. And I will look forward to seeing you then and helping you learn more about how joy as a practice and a compass can transform your life. And until we meet again, stay well and joyful. Thanks for watching.